Yes. So no, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
No,
have
that's
the
awesome.
Conversation sidetracked. But yes, so no, Michael does make amazing gifts.
That's awesome. Okay, so I want to get back to the topic for 5 more minutes at least.
Yeah.
But Mike, I asked you a question that we interrupted you. Do you use any other tools other than LinkedIn to engage your target market?
Facebook. I mean, I see if there's a correlation between, if they are on both. More for finding out more personal information about that person. So I may use Facebook to find out personal information as I'm engaging with them on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I think if I have, if I
that's
can.
That's great. Instagram can do that too, probably.
Yeah, that was another one, right? I mean, you can always, the same thing. You ask a question about somebody's kids, you're going to get a conversation,
Yeah. So one of the things we didn't talk about that I really want to talk about is Pulse, LinkedIn Pulse. Because I think LinkedIn Pulse is a phenomenal way to engage with people. LinkedIn Pulse is the ability to blog inside of LinkedIn. And there are 400 million members on LinkedIn. And there are over 100,000 new pieces of content every single day on LinkedIn. So you can actually search content by topic. So Alex, what's a topic that your prospects care about?
How to get more visibility for your business.
So if you searched in the LinkedIn search bar, brand and visibility or something, branding and visibility, right? And then you click on posts, not people or companies or groups, but posts, you can now see all the posts with that topic, right? Big deal, right? Now I typically will go posts within the last week because I like more current stuff. And you can now click through and not only engage with the author of that blog post, but all the people that liked and commented on that blog post. And those people that are liking and commenting on that blog post are probably people that you want to talk to.
Where were you performing that search again?
So in the top search bar on LinkedIn, put in quotes, branding and what was the word? What we I forgot.
Fine.
I forget you used a good word that I forgot. I got to 25,000. I'm doing a screenshot of this, and this is going to be my new Twitter handle. My new, not handle, oh my God, 20. It's like I feel like a superstar, even though it's kind of rigged. Is that like buying fans? That's supposed to be really bad to buy fans. Is that bad? I think it's okay in this case, right?
Sorry, the first time that Michael ever did it to me, I didn't even notice, and I was just in a a blab, and someone said, "Leanne, you've got 10,000 props." I went, "Oh dear," and Michael's in the sidebar going, "Ha ha." I went, "Oh, that's
awesome. We love it, and I can't wait till he gets my book, and then he can give me props for the book. Because oh my gosh!
Oh, as long as you give it to all of us, that's okay.
Oh my gosh! Look, that I need to learn this trick. I want to learn this trick.
I don't ever ask.
Okay, so you search in that top bar and you choose posts. When you search those keywords, it's going to pull up all the posts, all the blog posts inside of LinkedIn forever that have used that keyword or those words in the title.
I must not be searching in the right place because I'm looking. It's only pulling up profiles.
I really okay. So it's pulling up profiles. If you click on that drop down on the left hand side, click on posts. The word posts. It's second from the bottom.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Okay.
And then you put in marketing, let's say, which is going to be a ridiculous amount, right? So you put in marketing. And then I get 528,000 posts, right? On the left-hand side, I want now within a week, we're 12,000 of them. And I can see Daniel Burris at the top. I wish we could do screen share. Can't wait till they do this. And there are 794 views. And if I click through that, I can see 138 likes, 3 comments. So if I go down and I click on those likes, I get to see all the people that liked this. And I can actually reach out and connect with them and say, first, I can also like and reply to people in those 3 comments. But of the 138 likes, I can search out these people and now say, Janice, I noticed you liked Daniel Burris's post on XYZ. I thought it was a great post. I'd love to connect with you and maybe even talk about some of these topics. And so you can start to engage based on somebody else's work.
And from that search, you can actually you can either share those posts, like, you've got the share button, but the drop down arrow, you can actually like that post directly from that search as well.
Yes, you can. That's true.
Yeah. So you don't actually, so you could just actually like those. Yeah.
But so now you're interacting with the author.
That's right.
Absolutely. But I also like to go the step further and interact with the people the author engaged.
Yep.
Pretty clever. Well, I have my my second favorite tip that I wanted to share. If you were about to shut down the Blab, I didn't want you to just keep it.
No, keep going.
Go for it.
An hour. Well, we've been talking a while.
Well, what I do when I'm trying to find out prospects or decision makers, people I'd like to reach out to, I already mentioned I use the recruiting tool. So I'll go to LinkedIn and I'll find their profile. Now, as you know, not everybody is going to want to connect to you, and it's just, connecting is always a hit or miss sometimes. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I use a tool called Datanyze, and I'm going to post a link here, which is somewhat of an affiliate link, but it's a free tool. It's a credit-based tool, but if you use my link there, it'll actually give you free credits when you log in. So, and it'll give me free credits as well. So, full disclosure, it's a kind of a win-win here.
So can you just explain again what it does?
Okay, so I have not explained yet, but I wanted to post it. That's okay. I want to post the link so that you know kind of where to get it. So I'll describe it. So what Datanyze will do is it actually will put within that profile view, it'll put a little icon that has like a little graph that goes up there. It's a black little icon. When you click on that icon, it'll perform a search on the Datanyze system, which will bring up deeper information about that person, including the website URL, including who else is in their organization, et cetera, et cetera. And it also, what it'll do is it'll do a search for their email address. Mm-hmm. So what it'll do is it'll perform a search based on many, many, many different possible combinations of their name and their last name, such as if it were Bryn Tillman, it would be b.tillman at da-da-da-da-da, mm-hmm. Bryn.t, da-da-da-da-da. And it'll perform that search many, many times. It'll ping the email server and it'll search for that email address on social channels. By performing this search very quickly, it'll, in many cases, it'll give you like a green sign that says, this is that person's email address. And then I'll find that person's email address without even adding them on LinkedIn.
KiteDesk does the same thing. Have you seen KiteDesk?
No, I have not.
Oh, KiteDesk so there's 2 platforms that are magic, and they should be partners because they do 2 different things. So KiteDesk is this prospecting system that does a lot of what you do, but it's this whole measuring dashboard, and it connects to Salesforce. Mm-hmm. I don't know, and it's absolutely magic, and it's inside your email and your LinkedIn, and it really builds your prospecting list and gives you intel that you couldn't get. Then the other one is PeopleLinks. I don't know if you're familiar with PeopleLinks, but that is a content dashboard. So if you're in a bigger company, the marketing team can fill that dashboard with lots of pre-approved content. People can share it. It will track how many people like it, who likes it, tells you what to do with that. And it will respond like, you shared 6 things this week. These 2 got 7 comments, and this one, whatever it is. And it reports so that you know what's working and what's not working. And so between the 2, it's like a total social selling packet.
So what
was that second one, Bryn? Sorry.
So there's PeopleLinks.
Yeah.
And the other one is KiteDesk.
Yep. Oh, PeopleLinks. Yep.
And I mean, it's just, I would love for them to get married, because they do the two sides of the business that I do. They anyway.
Now,
so
what I
question,
see
does anyone, there's a question here. So the Sales Navigator, I use Sales Navigator. Anyone else use Sales Navigator?
Nope.
So
No.
if I can just talk for a second on this, if that's okay, because there's a question. Sales Navigator, there are two parts to Sales Navigator. There is the personal customized news feed, which is very useful. And there is Team Links. So Team Links is great for companies that have maybe 1,000 or 10,000 or even more employees. And what it is it treats everyone in your company as if they were a first degree connection. Meaning, if I'm looking to find someone at Campbell Soup, it can tell me that someone in Atlanta, Georgia, that I've never met but works for my company, knows someone at Campbell Soup. So I can reach out to that person within my organization and ask for an introduction into a company I'm looking to get into. That's the Team Links piece, and it's very good for large organizations. The custom news feed is very powerful if you want to engage your leads based on their activity. So I can save certain companies. So anytime anyone from Wells Fargo shares something on LinkedIn, it goes into my newsfeed. Even if it's someone that I'm not nearly connected to, it feeds in to let me know what's happening, almost like a Google alert. And it will do that for specific people and for accounts. So you can go and interact with every lead that you've ever put in there as they're sharing their stuff. So it's just a customized filter to a news feed. So I use it, and it's a really good way to engage, but I actually tend to ask for more warm introductions and even reach out to people cold on LinkedIn. I'm not nearly as passive. For passive social sellers, the customized news feed is very powerful. Hope that answered the question.
Yep.
So that was for Tanya. Tanya, I hope that was good. Okay, cool.
There was a question about, is there a way to automate conversing with those who like that post? When we're talking about, not that I know of, and I don't like automation.
There are certain things. So I
do in certain places, but.
Yeah. So I automate in a couple places, my email automation, but everybody knows Constant Contact and tracking, all of that. I actually automate in one area that a lot of social sellers will slap me on the hand very quickly. And I'm going to tell you that I do it and it works, so I'm going to keep doing it, is I automate a message when people follow me on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And that's a big no-no. I understand, but here's my message. Thanks for following me on Twitter. Connect with me on my home turf LinkedIn, and there's a link to my LinkedIn. So because I primarily engage on LinkedIn, I'm not selling anything. I'm not taking them to my website. I'm just saying connect with me on my home turf. And then they connect with me on my home turf, and I convert them to phone calls. So I know that it's icky, and Brian Fanzo has like stuck his tongue out at me, but it works for my process. I'm not selling anything. I'm not pitching anything. It works.
Do you know, the interesting thing that I quite often will say is that we quite often forget that not everyone knows what we know. And so while you're sending, direct, automated messages when someone follows you on LinkedIn, we that know, that's what I meant, on Twitter, we that know that's probably automated. But the people that are connected, that are following you on Twitter, a lot of them don't know. And so as long as, and I'm a bit the same, I stopped doing it because Twitter was not something that I had used really until probably a month before I started using Blab. So I did that. I created an automatic message, and mine was very personalized. So people thought I was actually sending them a message back just purely because of the way I worded it. Mm-hmm. But and I stopped doing it. But I agree, Bryn, because, and that's what I say, not everyone knows what we know. And people forget. It's a bit like, emails. Our email inboxes are probably clogged with marketing stuff and whatever, but not all of our customers are going to have clogged, horrible emails like we do. So, and I think that's when we're in this online space, we do forget that not everyone knows what we do.
Yeah. Well, and
my rant over.
No, and what I do interesting is I have random time sends. So if someone follows me, it may be 37 minutes before they get the automated.
Oh, okay.
So
yep.
It also.
So it's not as if it's a bam bam. You follow me and you get a message straight back.
So it's it's random times within an hour.
Yep.
So, and no less than 5 minutes. So it's not. Yeah. But either way, it's still automated. But I can track sales to it. So I got to do it. And I understand I'm not selling them. I would never do that. But I really do need to take all the people onto LinkedIn because that's where I engage. So can I would love to get someone else in a hot seat.
I can jump out if you like.
I love having you on, but would you,
I can jump out.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Well, either one of you can jump off. I'm not making that decision. I'm a people pleaser. I can't I can't make that decision. But I would love to see you on Top Marketer if you want to hop in, or Tanya if you want to hop in. That's great. Okay, great.
Hi,
Tanya. You had some great questions.
I was trying to answer them. I don't know if that was helpful.
So I'll look at someone's profile and work out whether it's someone I potentially want to have a conversation with. So I'll send them a direct message, and it often gets ignored. So I thought, well, any tips?
Yeah. Well, what does your message say?
Oh, I have to go and get one.
Well, the other thing too, while she's looking, and just what Leanne had mentioned, we're assuming that person knows and sees the direct message.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows where those are, and sometimes they may not see them.
Well, in LinkedIn, if you send a message in LinkedIn, it goes to two places. It goes to the LinkedIn inbox, and it goes into their email as their primary email. Many times people have their personal email as their primary, and they're not checking it as often as we'd like. And I think that might support what you were saying.
Right.
Do you send an email to them via LinkedIn, or do you grab their email address and send it?
It depends. I would say most of the time I am sending the message through LinkedIn because it goes to two places. However, if I've tried a couple LinkedIn and I check and I see it's going to a Hotmail or Yahoo, I will then try to go find their personal email, their professional email, and send it that way. But here's the thing. One of the things that we do, we make a mistake in business development all the time, is we ask for a phone call because it will help us, because we're looking to sell to them. And that's where we can make a big mistake. What we need to do from the pretty early on is start to engage them in what's important to them. So Tanya, what do you do? What is
there's all different ways, messages I'll engage them with, but one consistency is it's actually quite long. There's like 4 or 5 sentences. So maybe it's the length of the message.
Way too long, right? So what is in you have 10
zero
seconds.
in on one pain point.
I'll read one of my long ones, right? So I've got so I've sent it to the guy and I said, "Hi John, we are connected through LinkedIn. And as a person who has achieved great success, I was hoping to make a connection with you on a personal level. Janice, I think she's on this call, from our US office, and myself will be in London area late November, and we are keen to connect with like-minded individuals such as yourself who operate in the space of change leadership."
I'm sleeping. I don't even know you yet. And how do you even know I'm successful?
I'm a third of the way through. So I'm doing something wrong, right?
Okay. And so Mike, go ahead. You were on a good you were on a good trajectory? You started to say, focus in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You got, what's in it for them? Mm-hmm. You know, what's the pain point? You know what you want to talk to him about, but what is it that you have that you can present to him that's going to solve a problem he has?
Absolutely. And it's got to be very fast, right?
Yeah.
So I would not try to close for an appointment first. I would try to close for a brief conversation.
Right.
So I still don't know what you do. What do you do? What do you sell? How do you help? Who do you help?
Oh, okay. We do smart data assessments for management consultants, leadership, for trainers, HR departments.
And what kind of consulting?
Management consultants, anyone who's trying to get any change taking place in an organization. So our assessments quickly isolate the behaviors that are going to support the success of change or hinder it happening.
Okay. And CEO? You were trying to get to. You're trying to get to a CEO.
CEO, but no. In this instance, we were going for management consultants, trying to get appointments with. So they would become a business partner of ours.
Fabulous. So, dear John, I help business consultants get more business with an assessment product that I'd love to just talk to you about. Why? What does he care about? He needs to get more business. That's all he cares about. Yeah. So if you start with, we help business consultants grow their business exponentially with an assessment product, now I care.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I care about. Why would I talk to you? Because I want to grow my business. So I'd love to set up a brief 15-minute call to share with you how we have helped other management consultants double, even triple their business.
Okay. That sounds good. Janice, did you get that if you're online?
Right, but does that make sense? Like, because immediately.
Too, just something too, and again, it's kind of quirky, but like you said, 15 minutes. Use like 8 minutes or 7.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Just because then they know, hey, this is not going to be somebody making a big sales pitch.
Yeah.
And then you got to stick to it.
And you can set up on Calendly 8-minute calls. But see, here's the thing.
But
that's right, Mike. You got to stick to it. At 8 minutes, you've got to close that call.
Yeah.
And you've got to be ready to close that call. And you need to have given them incredible insights and incredible education and stuff that's got them dying for more Tanya. Like, oh my God, I need more of her.
Yeah.
Like that's where, and if you can get to that crescendo at 8 seconds, good for you. It takes me about 15. So you got to figure out what that is. And in that call, there's got to be a discovery piece. And I start every single one of these calls that I've converted. So wait, let's go back for a second. I connect on LinkedIn. I ask for the call. I give them a link to my calendar. They schedule the call, about 1 out of 20. So no pixie dust. It's the same. It's similar to cold calling, but it's much faster and it's really targeted. And 1 out of 20 1 out of 20 connections turns into a phone call. So now I get this phone call, and I want to start. Like, Tanya, can we role play for a second? So Tanya, thank you so much for getting on the call with me today. I'm really excited to talk to you. I got a chance to look at your profile, and I think you've got some great accomplishments, and I'm really excited maybe to share some insights with you. Before I go into sort of my agenda, I want to make sure that when we end this call in 15 minutes, that you got exactly what you were hoping to get. So when we hang up in 15 minutes and you said, wow, that was a great use of my time, what did we cover? And I always throw it back, and now I'm either going to get, I don't know, I'm just curious, or they're going to tell you their need. And when you go straight in, I would say 1 out of 4 or 5 times, I get someone that says, well, here's the problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a gift. Right? But it's not about here. The problem with, and if Don, if you're listening, this is for Don, the problem with traditional sales training, I'm sorry, babe, but the problem is we go in and we start asking questions so that we can get them answered and we get our needs met. But today, it really upsets someone when it's not about them, and maybe it's just the new way, just the absolute new way. But if you go in there, I can get to your needs based on me setting it up that you want to share with me. Because when I went through traditional discovery questions, I'm getting this nowadays, and they expect that you know a lot more coming into a sales call. Right. So,
and I think people think they're being sold at when you take that approach, don't they?
Yeah, but if I say to you, I want to make this the best use of your time, I want to make sure we cover everything you want to learn, everything you want to know, what is it? And now you're telling me, based on the fact that I'm going to provide you insights, you're going to be more honest with me than anything else, because you're getting a free consultation right now. And so people spill.
I mean, it goes back to, is it the drill or the hole? What does the person want? They're concerned in, you're not selling the drill, you're going to sell they're selling the hole there. So again, going to their pain, finding their pain, not using the word I, using you. And again, it maybe, and two, Bryn had mentioned maybe going all the way into what you're selling, but what's your objective on that? You just want the appointment. So, keep it simple, take it in steps.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that in our call, I provide you so much value. Free consultation. Another piece is, the traditional sales training says, and I'm saying that just for Don's sake. I promised I wasn't going to bring it up, but you can't argue with me because you're in my little comments. This is my side conversation with my buddy over here. So, traditional sales training will say, don't give free consultation. And I say, give it all away. Just give it in so fast that they fill up so quickly that they don't even know what to do with it. They're just crazy blown away with how much great stuff you gave them.
They're not going to be able to translate it into anything.
And if they can, God bless them.
Well, right. But they're just thinking, man, this lady's got it going on. I got to talk to her more.
And so that's when, at the end of that 15 minutes, when you have a minute left, Tanya, I hope you got a lot of value out of what we just shared. I really enjoyed talking with you. My wheels are spinning. I have some ideas that I'd like to share with you that have helped a lot of my other clients. Would it be okay if we set up another, like a 30-minute call the end of the week? And one of two things are going to happen. You'd say, sure, let's set that up. Or often I get, do you have another 15 minutes now? They're so excited about all the great stuff. I want to hear it now. But what I've done is I've now gotten your permission to sell you, to go into sales mode.
Okay.
Right? Here's the 15 minutes of insights and education, and now we're going to go into sales mode. And you've given me permission. So now I can start to talk to you about how I help my clients and how I solve problems. And I can ask you more discovery-ish calls because I've gotten permission to do that. And if I don't do this here, I can now go do that on our call at the end of the week.
Okay, that's fantastic. I've got heaps of valuable information there, which I'm going to go and try out. And it's just take those messages back, isn't it? And say, sorry, can you ignore my last one? I'm going to try.
Well, so you can't, you know what? You may not be, and the interesting thing now is that when you go into messages, it's a whole stream where before you could send another one, they never knew they missed it. Yeah. But you can definitely reach out. And I say things like, I'm really sorry we haven't been able to connect yet. If I dropped the ball on my side, I apologize. Let's give this another shot. So I take the sword, I'm like, I do it all the time, right? If I dropped the ball on this, I know we tried to connect about 2 weeks ago. If I dropped the ball on this, I am so very sorry. Can I get a second chance?
Yeah.
And you'd be shocked at how many people are like, oh no, it wasn't you. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. So how many responses do you tend to get at, say you send, 10 messages, how many responses do you get?
So 20 connections a day, 20 connection requests a day will ultimately turn into 10 new connections.
Right.
10 new connections will turn into, depending on how you do it, will turn into 1 to 3 calls.
Right.
So typically, if one call gives me 5 prospecting calls a week.
Okay.
That's a good number for me from there.
Yeah.
Now, I ask another 20 introductions through Warm Market. So there's 100 connection requests that go out cold a week.
Yeah.
And then another 20 that are warm introductions.
Right.
So whether it's a client or a strategic networking partner, or I looked up a company and saw how people were connected. Ultimately, I'm asking for 20 warm introductions a week. It could be 5 a day from different people. My client introductions are the ones that close fast and often much more quickly turn into qualified phone calls. So I use the advanced search for my cold marketing. I find the exact people that I want to talk to, and I reach out with a warm connection request. About once every couple weeks, once a month at the most, I'll go, and I will withdraw all the outstanding connections. So I don't get a whole lot of I don't knows if people have been ignoring. Typically, the I don't knows are going to be the people that haven't looked at their LinkedIn in weeks and weeks, and when they come in, they're annoyed that they have 700 connection requests and they go straight through. People that are active on LinkedIn typically won't I don't know you in general. And I'm not saying that across the board. So if you get a chance, you want to go through all of those archived, unaccepted connection requests and retrack them.
Right. Okay.
If there are people you want to reconnect with later, there's a back way to do that without knowing their email. There's a I call backdoor to connection. Do you use
Twitter in a similar way, or do you purely use LinkedIn?
So I am LinkedIn, but this can be done on almost any platform.
Yeah.
The why I liked LinkedIn is because the search functions allow me to target into the professionals I want to have conversations with. So
I think I find different people on Twitter that I wouldn't find on LinkedIn and vice versa. So I think it just opens up finding people in different ways.
I like Twitter because you can look for keywords of what people are tweeting about, searching about, keywords in the bio. It's very flexible in that regard. What I use Twitter for.
I'll tell you what, because I'll go into our competitors and I'll look at their followers and I'll follow them.
So there is a tool where you could actually copy someone's list in 2 seconds. So I have to, it's some college kid, I have to find it, created a little, you just go onto somebody's list and you literally can steal their whole list in 2 seconds. So if you have people that have created great lists of great people, it's a fun little tool.
Is that on LinkedIn or Twitter?
On Twitter. That's Twitter. Yeah. And lists are a great way. So Twitter for me is not so much prospecting as it is relationship building. I rarely go on LinkedIn and say, okay, I'm going to find some prospects that I'm going to go after. So for me, LinkedIn is much more of a targeted prospecting tool for me, where LinkedIn is Twitter is an engagement tool for me. I find conversations. I like tweet chats. I think Andy's in the room. I have partners that I have met in tweet chats for a new company that we're launching in January. So Andy's one of them, Andy Foote, one of my new partners. And I met him in LinkedIn chat. I've never met him in person, and we are partners in a business, And
what's this new business?
Andy, how much can we say? Can I give a hint? Andy, I don't want to get in trouble. If you give me the thumbs up, then we can get in trouble together. I'm waiting to see. He's not saying, he's thinking. Well, I'm going to give a little tiny hint, and I'm really excited. It is the opportunity to have access to 9 top social selling experts at a low monthly fee with a minimum of 36 hours a month availability to ask your questions, get your templates written. Hopefully, I'm not saying too much, Andy, but this is really exciting. We don't have a landing page yet. Okay, so he's saying it's okay through his little prop.
So now I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking that's interesting. So how from Blab do I quickly link in with you, or is that not that kind of thing?
Oh, so now, I wish that it were up there because Twitter is, but if you actually followed me, you get an automated message but here on Twitter. But I'll put it in linkedin.com/in/Bryn Tillman.
Bryn.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was going to talk about something that you spoke about earlier. Do you give me permission to change your mind on Twitter, on prospecting on Twitter, with one link?
Oh, you won't change my mind in the fact that I know that it's a great tool. It's just, I would love to learn. No, so I'm all about learning.
I'm going to change your mind on Twitter being a powerful prospecting tool.
Are you going to send me the advanced search on Twitter?
No, not even that.
Okay. So I'm open, sure. The thing is, I can only focus so much.
Here's this link. I'm going to post it right here. Check it out. Now open that link and see what comes up.
Okay.
Okay. So what's this doing?
Anyone know LinkedIn Expert? I'm not on there.
Well, no. These are people tweeting, requesting to connect with LinkedIn experts.
Oh, okay, you changed my mind.
Could you reply to those people looking for speakers, partners, clients, and say...
Yeah, unfortunately, some of them are from February 2011, but June 2nd, 2014 is the latest one. So nobody has actually asked that question.
Well, this is just one search operator. You can search for the same thing 1,500 different ways and find one person that is looking for you out there.
That's good. I like that.
In the commas. How do you do that?
So you put it in quotes so that it searches for a specific phrase, because if you don't, it'll look for the words kind of out of order.
Oh, interesting. I can see my day is going to get totally sidetracked now on things I didn't plan to do with all these new kids.
Well, that's the way I use prospecting on Twitter. And I've connected with people all over the world for services that I offer and made long-lasting clients that have been.
And Alex, that's what is that called? A Boolean search when you do?
I'm not even doing a Boolean search because I'm not using operators or anything like that. I'm just doing quotes. If I'm looking for a specific phrase, I just put it in quotes so that it searches for those 2 or 3 words together in that order.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is, yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
So, Tanya, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Yeah, we're losing you, Tanya. Oh, we lost you.
And she's gone.
Someone else can take the hot seat if you want. And I just tweeted a link that says projects.noahliebman.net. Anyway, that is the amazing tool. I think it was you can donate to him. He's a kid. I forget if this was a college thing or a high school thing, but you can literally copy anyone's Twitter list. So you can go into all of your competition or anyone that's spent a lot of time creating a really great list. You can just steal the list. I don't know if it's ethical, but I did it.
Why not?
I mean, you could do it manually. It's not. They've made it public.
Exactly. I don't see anything any problematic with that.
Okay, good. So it's ethical. So I did it to Kim Garst. I mean, if you're going to do it, you pick the best, right? If you're going to try it. Sorry, Kim. But it's because I respect you so much.
Well, I mean, what do you do with that list? Just follow them and reply?
Yeah, you follow them and you engage with them. I'm not poaching anything. And do not do anything remotely close to what Kim does. We are not, she is not my competitor. I am not her competitor. In fact, I'm her client. I bought how to use Twitter from her. So, okay, Corey. Hello, Corey. I'm following you, Corey. I just followed you, but for some reason I thought I followed you before.
Well, Brynn, this has been great. I'm actually going to bow out.
Okay, thanks so much.
Great to
be connected. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks, Alex. Are we on LinkedIn together?
I just requested you a few minutes ago.
Awesome.
So, yeah, let's connect.
Pull up mine, Alex.
I love it.
I don't have your LinkedIn profile, Mike.
Mike, share your LinkedIn profile in your link in the message.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, so long.
Hi, Corey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I feel like except I just followed you, but I feel like I followed you before. So I'm following you again.
When did you follow me before?
I don't know. I thought I did. Oh my gosh, E-Boy made a really cool picture of me. I love that. So Corey, how can we help you, or how can you help us?
I was just I just wanted to check out Blab because everybody's talking about it. So I'm like, I got to figure this whole thing out.
And we're the cool kids on Blab.
That's why I'm here. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. Then I saw LinkedIn. I'm like, hey, that ought to be an interesting discussion. And to my delight, it is. It's a great discussion. I just had two questions. I do pretty good on LinkedIn, but there's always some things that I always kind of wonder about. One would be, how do you get that verified, or influencer? I'm sorry, the influencer tag. Is that just kind of like a random, kind of the same way you get it on?
It's not random.
It's not random?
It's not random.
There's secret.
There was a time where you could apply for it. Very few people got it. But there are LinkedIn gods that just select people based on their preference. There are lots of people that should be influencers that are not. We campaigned for Bridget Hyacinth, who is one of the most prolific writers on LinkedIn and has the most incredible engagement, hundreds of thousands of views and tens of thousands of likes and comments. And we can't get her. I mean, she should be an influencer because she's getting it all without being an influencer, and we couldn't do it. So,
okay. Well,
nope.
That's fine. I was just curious because as I was doing,
I'd pay money for that.
You've been giving me. I was like, I just kept noticing all these people that I'm like, hey, how do they do that? And
yeah.
The other thing too is like, I really started kind of getting some traction using Pulse, not, over the last couple months. I think I kind of hit I don't want to say it's a home run, but I hit a double with some content that I made or that I created. And I noticed I started getting, a lot of comments, a lot of
awesome.
What am I looking for? Likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I was just curious, is there anything I can do outside of I've shared it on a lot of groups, so I was able to pull in traffic from those places. Was there anything else other than that, and then just sharing it,
to get views
everywhere in general that you can do to kind of pump up the traffic even further?
Yes.
So did that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah. So there are lots of things you can do. One, create a share group. So find some networking partners that, whether are you in a BNI or any kind of networking group, or do you have like a core group of people that you network with? And every time you blog, they comment and like and share, and you do the same for them.
Okay.
So here's the thing is when somebody sees something that has lots of likes and comments, they're more likely to pop in and look at it because obviously people are liking and commenting. So it's a little bit of a domino effect. So you really want to start the snowball rolling, right? You want to start that rolling. So a share group is a great way to go. And I would say 8 to 10 people if you can. 5 is fine. But if you get 8 to 10 people, all of a sudden it starts to go. You want to tweet it out. And when you tweet, first of all, is your Twitter account connected to your LinkedIn? So when people tweet it, you're notified? Make sure that you do that. So add your Twitter.
Just go to your settings. It's easy to do.
Yep. Yeah. You want to add.
I have everything connected, but I probably missed some stuff too.
So in your right. Go ahead. So, Mike, go ahead.
No. I just said, you know, that you always want to, double check whenever you think you got things working. Always double check.
So go into your contact information and make sure your Twitter handle is added. If not, it takes 2 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
Now, when people tweet out, you're notified, and then you can start to engage with them as they tweet that out. But here's the big aha moment to write down. The way you really get views is by getting picked up by LinkedIn Pulse channels. So there are dozens and dozens and dozens, I don't even know how many channels there are, that will promote content for you. So there might be 100,000 people that follow. What do you do, Corey?
I'm a musician, but I also have I do music marketing as well. So I kind of do stuff, and then I show artists like what it is that I'm doing that I'm having success with. So
okay, awesome.
Marketing for musicians.
That's great. So there's got to be a musician channel on LinkedIn, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Right. So now what you want to do is you want to tweet your blog post, and you're going to change @LinkedIn to @LinkedIn Pulse, and then in quotes put the channel that you think you should be on. Now LinkedIn Pulse will get a little mention, and you're helping them with their job, because their job is to put the right content into the right channels. And you've just told them where your content should go.
I like that. I missed the little nuances. You had said tweet, get the URL.
@LinkedIn. So when you go to tweet, it's going to say @LinkedIn that buy @Planet Corey on @LinkedIn. That's how it automatically populates.
Okay.
You're gonna take out, actually, if you have too many characters. You don't have to say by Planet Corey, because Planet Corey is the one who's tweeting this, so they'll know who you are.
I understand that. Yep.
And now you're going to change @LinkedIn. You're going to add the word Pulse, so you're tweeting to @LinkedIn Pulse, not @LinkedIn, and that's the Pulse team that you're mentioning, and they are the ones that are deciding what content gets picked up on what channel. So if you help them out by telling them, you go do your research, you find out here's the channel or channels I would like to be mentioned in, because you can be on different ones, and I would have them on different tweets about 15 or 20 minutes apart, and tell them what channel you belong in. So @LinkedIn Pulse Musicians channel, there is a huge possibility that you'll get picked up. Once you're picked up in a channel, your blog post will now show up on the homepage of every single person that follows that channel.
Nice.
And it may only be for 15 or 20 minutes till the next thing is picked up. But if there's 100,000 or 200,000 followers, you're going to start getting some traction.
Thank you. Sorry about the zooming thing that's going on there, but no,
that's okay.
That's a really nice little
hack.
Very nice hack. I love those. Those are like the last gal said, she's like, now she's going to be sidetracked for a while playing around. So I'm sure that'll take.
I can sidetrack a lot of people, but they make money in the end. So
yeah,
that's what matters.
You're right. I mean, I'm like Mr. Sidetrack. I mean, it's a curse with me. So
here's the thing. Love that stuff. What I recommend, because I'm ADD for sure, which is why I ended up in sales, right? Most salespeople are. Create a checklist for yourself every day of the must-do things, and don't have it more awesome, right? Well, so you want it on one sheet of paper, and you want to be able to print them and check them off. Okay. And that's what's really, so I have my must do 10 things a day, and it's printed with a little checkbox, and I put my little date on the top. And as I do them, I check them off. So at 8:00 at night, I'm like, I have 3 more things I have to do. And if I don't do them, I roll them. I don't let them go. I roll them into the next day.
Yeah, when I've been at my most effective, a lot of times I'll sit down at the end of the workday or maybe in the evening, and I'll write down in order. Like I'm going to wake up at, I'm going to be specific. I'm going to wake up at 5:30. I'm going to eat for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to work out for X amount of minutes, and then
that's better than I do.
And that's when I'm being my most effective. I'm not saying that this is like something I do absolutely every day because I fall off the wagon quite a bit, but when I'm at my most effective, that's when things are really working, is just being very specific and writing each thing out. And it just helps me. Actually, I get things done faster, I notice, when I do that, because I procrastinate less, because I say, okay, I just gave myself an hour to do this. So then I just find myself kind of falling in line and getting more stuff done. But I don't know. That's I don't know where I picked that up. I'd love to give somebody credit for that, but I read too much. So
no, I listen. Some famous author, right? Yeah. So I'm just recapping what to do here. Mention in the channel that you want to be published in. Someone asked me to, so I just typed out what I told you so we could help that. Okay. Any questions? And there's an open seat. Corey and Mike and I would love some company. Mike, are you still doing okay? Or you had to go to do something?
No, this is more
soccer game.
This is more important.
Okay, I thought you had a soccer game.
No, that was just for fun. So no, I have nobody personally playing. So
okay, was it on TV soccer game?
No, this was high school. They play.
So you go to high school soccer games for fun. Well, as a soccer mom, I could just say you're a god.
No.
I sit on the field freezing cold.
There is a vested interest. I have some of my lacrosse girls play soccer, so I go to support them.
Okay.
And I can kind of recruit from the soccer team. So
there you go. Awesome.
It's all about marketing.
Awesome. So who wants to get into the open hot seat? We are coming close to like 2 hour blab. 2 hours. This is my longest one yet. Some people have done 24.
I was kind of afraid to come on here because every time I got video going on, it's like I do podcasting, but at the same time I'm like, oh no, here I got a t-shirt on and my hair is all matted up, and I'm like, I'm in my dungeon, as you can see here. So it's just like that's the only thing that was keeping me back from getting on here. But I'm like, you know what? I got to do it.
Yeah, no, you know what? Well, see, you could get a green screen and then nobody will see your dungeon. Although I'm not really in a dungeon. There's just a white wall behind there. But
hey, Brent, I got a question here because I've been using Pulse more. Where do you search for? Because I'm seeing the little bars. I'm finding they just give me a limited number of categories here. Is that all you have to work with?
Where? I'm sorry. Where are you?
All right, I'm on Pulse, and
are you trying to find Pulse channels?
Yeah, just Is it like a search bar that you just type in and see which ones come up, or do you have to you have to work with what they give you here?
I am going to send you a link that's going to take you to every Pulse channel there is.
Okay.
And that's probably the easiest way to do that. So that link will take you to all the Pulse channels. And then you can go through those. You can subscribe to some of them. So like if you look like software engineering, well, let me see if there's a musician one. I don't know. There's technology. 10 million people are following technology. So if technology picks you up, so many people are going to see you on their homepage. Social media, 8 million people. It's crazy.
So do you have to scroll or can you search for a particular topic?
Nope, you gotta scroll.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, I can play with that later.
Yeah, and
because I'll put up on LinkedIn because all these stressed out businessmen. I do a lot of health related posts that I've been putting on Pulse. So I thought, well, let me look at some of the health channels or health related.
Yeah, there's healthcare.
So.
I'm looking for music. I don't see
a relaxation, anything like that. So.
I think the only thing that's close to music I'm looking on here is entertainment, I think.
Yeah, entertainment.
Well, and you could be in marketing and advertising too. It can't hurt.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, you never know. And entrepreneurship. Yeah, there's something. I mean, I'll definitely take a shot at a few of them here just to see what happens. Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah. So.
And then if anybody gets mad at me, I'm just going to tell them that Bryn Tillman
told
me that I'm supposed to do this. And if you got a problem with it, you're gonna have to talk to her. She's telling everybody. No,
hey, let me just ask you, Bryn, what's your take on the delicate geniuses that get offended when you're engaging with them sometimes?
All right, so I'm going to start with my biggest Achilles heel in life is I'm a people pleaser. So if I offend someone, I get such a gut-wrenching, I get sick to my stomach.
Sure.
That being said, LinkedIn specifically, I've become pretty callous to. Because there are so many people, like I reached out with my little message that said, nice to be connected. I'm also going to be adding you to my email list. And I got a guy that started, I say screaming and yelling. It was I'm going to report you. You can't just add me to your email list. So I said, at that point, I'm like, you know what? First of all, obviously it's not someone I want on my email list, but I actually reached out and I said, apparently I've reached you at a really bad time in your life because you seem pretty upset over something that is pretty controllable. I guarantee you I won't add you to my email list. We don't even need to be connected on LinkedIn, and I really hope your life gets better. And that's all. It's like road rage. Like, it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do. And
I've had people on my on my email list. I had a guy like a month ago, and he was just all over me because he's like, your punctuation's bad. You use, you don't use correct grammar, and I'm like, I get it. I know that's an issue, but a lot of times, a lot of people, I blog kind of in a loose conversational way.
Me too.
So I don't worry about. I try to be punctuation. I want people to understand me, but at the same time, it's like, when it comes to like the grammar stuff, I don't mind using like slang words and just stuff like that. Cause it's like, we're talking, I don't want to be, so, but yeah, I had a guy, he was all over me. I'm like, you know what? Just unsubscribe. That's all you got to do, man. Everything will be all right. Your day will go much better.
Brent, I just kind of mentioned that in jest because you obviously are going to run into all kinds of people. And I always would kind of relate to it as the old kind of beer muscles. You wonder this person would never speak to you that way if you were standing there face to face. Never, ever, ever. So, yeah, a few times I had responded, but yeah, usually it's a delete. But it does just give me, why are you on the internet if you don't want anyone to engage with you or connect with you?
This is social media. If you don't want to be social,
and I'm always thinking too, if this guy had a widget and was wanting to sell it, what would he be doing? Would he be telling people don't connect with me?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's pretty funny. Yep. So, and I am a people pleaser, and I have done a few things in my lifetime that have really offended people, and I try my hardest to be the best person I can be. And if I can only help 90%, be positive in 90%, that's way better than, a lot of things.
I'm exactly the same way. I've retweaked my, whatever the message was or, whatever the scenario was that caused that one person. Because unfortunately, you hear about the one, but you don't hear about the 20 that sat back and said, well, that was pretty cool. They just didn't respond or engage or comment,
Mm-hmm. But, so I had a question about the best time to publish on Pulse. So interesting. My best responses are on Sundays.
Sundays. Okay.
So two things. Sunday morning will get me US and most of Europe. If I do Sunday morning, and then I'm hitting Australia pretty early in the morning there. It's like if I do at 10 a.m., I'm hitting them around midnight maybe. So it's a little late for Australia, but to get into the notifications. But typically I stay high up on the notifications on a Sunday morning. And I actually every Sunday send an email with a link to my LinkedIn blog. So it's not really a newsletter, it's my LinkedIn. And I have, over the last year and a half, really consciously built a tribe. And I've done that I'm recapping if you guys were in the room when I was talking about engaging on other people's blog posts. When you start connecting with people that like and comment other blog posts, they're people that like and comment on blog posts, right? So when you start connecting with 100, 200, 300 people that are active in liking and commenting, and you have good stuff related to content that they like and comment, they start to like and comment consistently on yours. So over time, if you are, let's say, reaching out to 100 people that turn into 50 new connections every single week of people that like and comment on blogs similar to yours, you are going to very quickly build a following and a tribe of people that like your stuff.
Yeah, see, that's what's neat with Instagram, with the hashtags. You're able to find those people much faster. Whereas LinkedIn does not like hashtags, nor is there any value.
I find them fast, showing you what I showed you earlier, which is how do you find those posts?
Yeah, well, no, exactly. So that's that.
How do you build an email list? And I'm just learning LinkedIn. Do you want to? Wow. Do you have an email list, Corey or Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm a big, huge email guy, big time.
So, okay, so Mike, first tell us, how do you build your list? And then Corey, you can share with us. And if someone else, once again, the hot seat, please do.
How do I build my list? Well, I've had more success in building it on the fitness stuff than on the insurance stuff, but through a capture page before they get to my blog. And that takes, and that I collect, I use GetResponse.
Hi, Michael. We'll get to you in a second.
I was gonna say, when I hear that question, to me, it's like super loaded, because there's so many ways to build an email list. First of all, you want to make sure that pretty much any URL that you have out there in social media land is connected to some page on your website or anything that it automatically asks them right away for an email list. Like on Twitter, for instance, I'll have auto replies. It'll just say, hey, thanks for connecting. Here's something, like offer them some value or whatever. I do this with my, with my music. I do it with a lot of stuff, and it's very effective. You want to make sure that pretty much any page on your blog, if you got a website, you're always asking them, and don't be afraid to ask, if you're on LinkedIn or if you're on any social network, every once in a while, just send out your link. Like, hey, I'm posting about X, Y, and Z, or I have a newsletter about X, Y, Z, if you're interested, hop on. I mean, it could be that simple as well. So we could talk about this all night long. And
yeah, well, so I use a couple of tools. One of them is Wistia, which is a video hosting that has a gatekeeper. So here, if I go to socialsaleslearning.com. Okay, so I offer 5 video tips. They're almost free. You can watch the first one at no obligation. If you want to watch the other 4, you've got to give me your email. And that feeds automatically into Constant Contact. Every single person I connect on LinkedIn gets this link. I've had thousands of people watch these 5 LinkedIn video tips. And so I offer incredible value and the cost is your email. I also have an ebook. So if anywhere you land on my website, there's a landing page for you to download my ebook. It's free content, almost free. You have to pay. Oh, good morning, Australia. Wow, Nate's in the house. Hi, Nate. So, Michael, welcome. Hello. And your M Barnes 10-2007. That's a long number.
Yeah.
How are you today, Michael Barnes?
I'm good. I was asking the question about building the email list because I'm wanting to start a blog. I've had cancer 3 times and 27 major surgeries, so I'm looking to start a blog to tell my story about all the cancer that I've had throughout my entire life. And
congratulations! I'm also a cancer survivor. Once, thank God, but still sucks.
Yeah, it's never good.
It's never good, but good for you. How do you feel now?
I'm good now. I mean, I have my aches and pains because the first one put me in a wheelchair for my entire life. But
sucks.
Yeah, I look at it as I get close parking at Christmas. So that's how
I'm going shopping with you. I'm going shopping with you. So here is, so that congratulations. You will be a huge motivator for lots of people. You obviously have overcome a lot, and you can get people to stop whining about their issues, right? Like that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And so focusing on, you know, all the things that you've gone through is great, because that's the way it works. Hello, I'm Bryn Tillman. I am here with Mike Sheehan. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Bryn. How are you this evening?
I'm good despite the technical glitch. So here's what I learned about Blab. If you are the only one on Blab, do not refresh unless there's someone else in a seat. Lesson learned. I closed out a Blab in 2 seconds. I got on, there was feedback. I refreshed and it closed out the Blab. So you have to.
Well, the numbers are climbing, so it must have worked. So.
Well, we'll see. I tried to personally tweet out to everybody, but I'm really excited about this particular topic, which I'm now going to change to be more officially. Let's see. Engaging. All right, we're going to change the topic. I just did it really quick.
Right.
Engaging your target audience.
Yes.
On LinkedIn. And you'll automatically be tweeted, so we don't need your URL anymore. That'll go when they tweet a bird. Thank you, my friend Andy. So, Mike, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure, yeah. Well, as you can see, which is the neat thing with Blab, my name up there, Mike Sheehan. I got started using LinkedIn back in 2008. Had a friend of mine who said, hey, do you want to go market on social media? I knew, I didn't know anything about what social media is, certainly nothing about LinkedIn. And that's where it all started. And it was a perfect fit for me because my background, what I do, and what I look to build and attract business online is selling life insurance. So that was my motivation because I felt I could help a lot more people and be a lot more efficient marketing online. And the insurance companies kind of agreed with me because many of the insurance companies have online applications where I don't have to be face-to-face with the client anymore. And with technology, what it is now, we can literally be face-to-face, but we could be sitting in each other's homes because we could do things like a Blab or Skype. That was what I used early on with Skype, where we could see if people wanted to be a little bit more personal. But, a lot of times it's just a phone call after they engage with me. So, and then as far as what I love to do for fun, I coach kids. I currently am the head lacrosse coach. I've coached girls, probably more than I've coached boys. And the head lacrosse coach.
You must have daughters.
I have 4 daughters.
That would make sense.
Yeah, the youngest one played lacrosse. The other 3 are older and was kind of pre-lacrosse. But that's what got my interest. And so, yeah, and as a matter of fact, we're just starting up our season next week. So we start all our preseason for the season, which is not until 2016, but you have the preseason. So I'm really excited about that.
Fun. So tell me how you had one secret. We'll start with one really good secret. How have you used LinkedIn to engage with, first of all, how do you find your target market? Let's start with that.
Okay, I did it with groups. When I first started, I started local groups that had not any particular interest. It wasn't so it was like I have a group called Link Local Cleveland, Link Local Akron. I'm in the Cleveland, Akron area. Mm-hmm. And we started just groups where people could, I could take the technology of the internet and then I could turn it into a face-to-face meeting. Mm-hmm. Because we are geographically close. So there was nothing, and then we were, the group was, the purpose of the group was to share content so everybody could kind of benefit. So it wasn't just marketers and it wasn't just people with brick and mortar, it was a combination of the two. So yeah, so starting a local group, to answer your question.
So I used to love groups. I'll be quite honest with you. I've been disappointed in the last 3 months or so. When LinkedIn rolled out, you can only send 15 messages to group members.
Yeah.
And so that's been quite disappointing. So although I found groups to be an incredible way to engage with people, have you stopped using groups in the same way?
Well, 2 things. I hadn't as much because of the SWAM issue. If you're familiar with the site-wide automation moderation that LinkedIn kind of secretly put out there. And I was finding this out, they didn't never say anything. I have to say, you had mentioned something earlier on a blab earlier today about, LinkedIn used to be, LinkedIn is so structured and they have no give and take. And I don't know if that's just because of the fact that they got to figure out how to make money, and they really don't care about maybe the problems that you're having for the person who is using it for free, Yeah.
So when it comes to LinkedIn, here's a couple of things. Number one, and the last thing I want to do is bite the hand that feeds me. So I'm going to keep it as positive as possible. Yeah. But I think what happened is there were many, many people teaching LinkedIn and really teaching how to spam people inside groups. And I think there was a big group that really ruined it for a lot of us. So here's a couple of tips with groups that I don't know if you're aware of that are relatively new and rolling out. And I think it's going to end up getting spammed again, but until it does, here's a great tip. If you're in a group and you find people that you want to engage with, before you used to be able to send them a message, now you're limited to 15 messages across all groups every month. Paid or unpaid, that's their limit. That's it. That's all you can do. However, you can now mention people in an update or in a post. So if someone is in a group with you and you now post a blog, you can engage them by mentioning them, and they will get a notification that they were mentioned. Now it's public, but you can start to engage with people that way. So that's a new thing. That's the only new thing in groups that I find to be engage worthy at this point, at least individually. I don't know about you, but that.
Well, and the other thing I was going to say that I have done, and this really goes to the point of having a good profile with good content in it. I would go to their websites and find the phone number. And find an email. When I would go to their websites on their contact information.
So if you connect with them, you'll get their email, right? Because
I'm saying if I was looking to connect with somebody that was in a group, so in a group, so I can see their information now. I may not be connected with them yet because I don't want to use up my 15. But I said, hey, let me see. If they have a company website, I can pick up the phone and call them.
Okay, so that's a good point. You actually can still connect with as many people as you'd like. You just can't send personal messages.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable connecting with people in a group, you can definitely use the advanced search filter and group and then filter it down. So I don't know if you've done this, but in LinkedIn, there's an advanced search filter. And although the group filters is considered... excuse me, I should have closed my office door. One moment.
No, while we're waiting for it to come back, I started to use that, and you can really get specific and really whittle it down. And I would say, in some respect, this was good because now you're really getting to the the people that you really want rather than just kind of that broad brush all the time.
Absolutely. And so narrowing down that search inside of a group is a really cool thing. You can also, you don't have to do it inside of a group, but what happens now is you can start to identify 30, 40, 50 people in that group, record those names, and then when you share a blog post, you can mention them. So I can say, I have my friend Don Brown is on the line. I could say, at Don Brown, here, we just posted a link. I thought you, as a SCORE counselor, you might be interested in this, and send it out. And now I've mentioned him, so I start to engage with him through content inside of a group.
Sure. Again, that's stuff that we used to do in the face-to-face stuff. It was just the natural progression that you did this.
Totally
Instead
agree.
of sending it to 100 people, you were doing it just on a one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I agree with you so much, Mike. Like, this online networking is just the next evolution of in-person networking. And if you treat LinkedIn like this great big business card exchange, people are going to be a lot more comfortable engaging and having conversations. So,
Right.
you know, and so, you know, one of the points along that I always like to share, and actually there are really three kinds of engaging types of people on LinkedIn when it comes to new connections. Some people will only connect with people they know. Some people will connect with everyone.
I want to go back to that one for a minute when you're done. So let's not forget about that, because I want to talk about that.
All right. Well, so, yeah. So, and some people are sort of in the middle, right? And so, for me, I guess I fall somewhere in the middle, in connecting with people. But here's the key: when you connect with people, treat it like a business card exchange. If someone connects with you, it's like they walked up and handed you the business card. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the business card and walk away and never have a conversation? So if this is someone you'd want to have a conversation with, you want to convert that to phone calls, right? So if they connect with you on LinkedIn, your reaction should not be ignore them now. It should be a little note that says, thanks so much for connecting with me on LinkedIn. Typically, I like to have a conversation with my new connection so we can explore ways we might be able to help each other out. And I give them a link. So I have a link to my calendar. Here's a link to my calendar. Please pick a time that's good for you. How do you handle that, Mike?
Yeah, I don't have that much inbound. So I just did it here. I have a gentleman that I wanted to connect with, where we are a connection. He had posted something in the updates, and I hadn't talked to him for a while. And you know, I know what he does, and I know he's very busy. So I reached out in a message. We were connected. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know, hey, Joe, I got a question for you, because there's some marketing ideas I want to run by him. You're going to have some time this week to talk. And I already got an email back. He told me what time, you know, we can talk and so on. So, you know, rather than playing phone tag, rather than trying to get through the, you know, the secretary, I mean, that's how I did it, and it worked fine. So I do that a lot.
I love that. Do you have a calendar sync? Like I use Calendar.
No, I haven't had one. You know what? Right there. I still use it.
So
that seems to be just faster for me still. You know.
Yeah, it wouldn't be faster if once you have it linked, because it just happens without you. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, no, you're right. I've been lazy to just kind of set that up. So well, I guess when the pain is there, I will.
It's old habit. So here's one of the things that helps me really engage with people. When I connect with the right people on LinkedIn, when I'm connecting with them, I will then send them a link that says, here's a link to my calendar. Pick a time that works best for you. And I use Calendly. But what I did is I went and I bought a URL, scheduleacallwithbryn.com, which takes them to my website, because I want to bring people to my website. Then they have a choice of a 15-minute or 30-minute call. They pick that. They see my available times that I've allotted through Calendly, and it's a big win. It's, you know, they absolutely get on my calendar, and I'm talking to probably 3 to 4 times more people than I ever did before. And a lot of times, I've wasted hours and hours and hours in back and forth emails because we couldn't get a time that works. And now it just happens. And you get them when they're excited, when they first connect.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And too, if you could put that link in there, I was looking to see if you may have put it in there. Oh, did you already?
Yeah.
Okay, call. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's the Calendly link. Okay.
So that's for me. That's how I did it, right? That was just my way to do that. But it really helps truly start to engage. So I'd love to open up the seat. If there's anyone that wants to chat, ask Mike or myself some questions, that would be awesome. Mike, what's the next way you engage people on LinkedIn?
Oh, geez, let's see. Let's see, groups. The advanced search, you know, where I'll go by their profile. You know, let's say I'm looking for public relations people. You know, I'll use the advanced search. So the next way I do is through the advanced search.
Hold on one second. Lamar, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Do you have a headset? Because we've got some reverb.
Uh-oh. No.
Oh, wait, it went away. That's okay.
You need to move your camera.
We can't see your mouth.
We only see half of you.
Okay.
There you go.
I got to be closer. Okay.
That's why I'm like.
I thought something different happened with this system because I didn't see the same setup as I saw before.
Yeah, the last couple of days, the Blab is really working it through. They're doing a lot. So Lamar, one of my favorite LinkedIn friends, by the way, tell me your number one way, and you're the king of engagement between you and Robert C. Stern. We've got major engagers. Oh, I like that, major engagers. So tell me one of the things that you do, Lamar, to engage your prospects on LinkedIn, with LinkedIn.
Well, I'm big on third-party referrals.
Me too.
So basically, that's what I have going for me, is people introducing me. And this has partly been forced upon me because I've been on LinkedIn for a long time, but that doesn't mean I've been using it properly for a long time or using it at all for the long time that I've been on it. But what I've accumulated over a long period of time is a lot of IDKs. And so now whenever I find somebody that I want to connect with, I get this yellow message that says, "Are you sure that you know this person?" And I said, "Uh-oh, I've got to go the third party."
Do you know how to clear that out? Do you know how to clear that out?
I didn't know you could.
Yep. So you go here. You ready? Get paper and pen.
Hold on a second. I didn't know this was going to happen.
You have homework here. You got homework.
Yeah. So you're going to go to.
I do. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. So if anyone here, what we're talking about is his account is restricted. Too many people said, "I don't know Lamar," when he reached out to connect. And so LinkedIn is saying, "Hey, Lamar, you're going to get kind of half shut down," meaning you're going to need an email every time you connect with someone. So there are lots of ways around that, even if you do get restricted. So don't fear if you're restricted and you can't get unrestricted. There's, the back door to connections, right? But I should not have had Diet Coke. Excuse me. That was terrible. No more Diet Coke while I'm blabbing. Excuse me very much. Okay. Ready? Help.linkedin.com. In the help piece, you are going to put unrestrict me. And it's going to take you to a link that says unrestrict your account. You're going to pretend to read it and scroll all the way to the bottom. And you're going to say, "I agree to never be a bad boy again." And hit enter or yes or search, whatever it is there, and you will be unrestricted. It'll say unrestrict yourself. And you're just agreeing to follow by all the rules.
How did you learn that? Because I've been communicating with the help desk for a long period of time, and nobody ever told me that.
I know. They don't know what they have. They don't.
I will second that. I've had situations where
the question becomes, they work for LinkedIn, but you know what they don't. How do you know what they don't?
Because I am a problem solver. So when my client comes to me with a problem, I do everything I can possibly do to figure out how to solve that problem. And we figure it out.
This has been around for a long period of time, has it?
At least 4 years, because it was in my first book.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Here, I'm actually looking for the link. Yeah. Oh, now it says try to unrestrict yourself. Here, I'm going to send you the link. All that work. Here's the link. It actually says try to unrestrict yourself, but you click through that, and it should take you through my account. It should take you through. At the bottom, it says try to unrestrict yourself. If you click on that, yep, it says I've read the statement above and I agree to it. So it's just saying I understand the rules and I get that I am not supposed to, I'm not supposed to do all those things that you're still going to do because that's what we do. All right. I have a question from anyone that knows Blab. Maybe you can help me. How do I make Mike a host?
All you got to do is click on the G.
I am, but all it's doing is
I don't know. I thought
she just, I think, opted herself out.
Yeah.
Brandon, come back. Oh, there we go.
Weird.
Brandon,
that's what I get. I was clicking yeah. And it popped me out. It's not. I'm going to click on the.
You keep hitting the exit button.
I think that's what it is, though.
I think my blabs are broken tonight. Okay, let's get back to the topic. I'm going to share one of my favorite ways to engage with people. I have a lot of favorite ways. I tend to say I have like 100 top 10 things. So that's just sort of my shtick. So one of my favorite ways, because I am connected to lots of people that I want to engage with, right? And some of them have become phone calls and some of them haven't. So I love to look through my news feed, my homepage every day, and I make it my job to like and comment on at least 5 people's stuff every day. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't do it with everybody, and I don't do it with everything, but I mean, I have a ton of people that I'm following and I'm connected to, but at least 5 people a day. And I'm finding content I like and I actually mostly read, at least scan. So I know what it's about and then I know if I'm liking it and commenting on it's authentic. And I like and I comment at least 5 a day. And for me, that's kept me kind of in the eyes of, like people appreciate when if someone likes or comments or on one of my blog posts, that makes my day, right? That's why I'm doing this. I want engagement. So I want to make other people's day as being one of the people that's engaging. So that's
I'll agree. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Absolutely, is get in and not just click the like button or what is it, like button? And
like, right, or comment.
But a comment. So read the first couple of paragraphs.
Yep.
And comment because they will see that. They will not forget who you are.
Absolutely.
Do you guys use
Lamar, you got to bring your camera down. I feel like I'm talking to
Yeah, you look like the guy from Home Improvement.
Yes, that's it. Okay, cool. And if someone else wants to jump in the hot seat and talk about,
there you go.
Ask your questions or share your stuff, we're really excited about talking about targeting your audience. I have a whole bunch of other things.
And I will say, and this is where the zest for wanting to, again, sell your widgets, sell your stuff, get yourself out there, is you want to start promote, which is the 3 things you shouldn't first do when you go on, is promote.
Right.
And I always kind of use the 80-20, and I test that all the time, and I always fail. When I'll try to shortcut it, and it ends up, just hurting me, but is being patient. And I like to use the analogy of the old face-to-face. Well, I don't know how many people still go to live networking events, but I remember back in 2008 and 2009 and stuff, you'd go to a LinkedIn event to be 500 people there. I mean, I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately, because that was a lot of fun. But you didn't.
I think if you go to meetup.com, you're going to find a lot of local networking events. I still think Facebook.
Well, I'm saying the LinkedIn ones that were kind of LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of Lewis House, events. I mean, Lewis was from Columbus, Ohio. He used to do things up here in Cleveland, and there'd be 500-600 people there.
But that's just because it was Lewis. It had nothing. Well,
yeah. I mean, before he was, but I mean, that's what really kind of.
Yeah, but that's Lewis. He is the most. Yeah. Yeah.
But was the when you're at a face-to-face event, it's not promote. You're trying to engage and get to know that person a little bit. So to keep that on the forefront when you're connecting with somebody new on LinkedIn.
Mike, that's a really good point. And it's really important that we're engaging the audience around stuff they care about. One of the biggest mistakes I have seen, particularly with I work with clients, is they're putting stuff out there. They're just all about their stuff. And I want to share this, and we have a new product that's doing this, and come to my open house event, and here's all my. And the biggest mistake they make is they are not engaging their prospects or their targeted audience in a way that's relevant to them. So the most important thing we have to figure out is, what does our audience care about?
Well, and two things with that is that first sentence when you're going to engage them is, how are you? Ask it, how are you? Don't have I in the sentence at all, those first couple of sentences, and then look at their profile a little bit and learn about them a little bit and say, hey, I went here, or I see you do this, and then kind of go from there.
I think that's really important to really engage with them around, notice you went to Ohio State. Yeah. Whatever it is, right? So, and that's really important. But initially, before we even get to that 101, which I think is absolutely vital, when you are putting stuff out there, make sure it's stuff that your prospects care about. Don't talk about, don't do rants about your political beliefs. And, there's so many mistakes and, that a lot of people make. And so you should be insightful and engaging. And that should start, by the way, with your profile. If you are in any kind of business development, which most people that want to engage with an audience is either in business development or recruiting. And so if you're in business development, you want to make sure that your profile is engaging enough to get your visitor to want a phone call with you, because that's our goal, right? But we have a question. Will that LinkedIn restriction be for all connections you try to make if you are restricted? Some I can save as a contact and then do it that way. And others, even if I do, that takes me back to the page and puts, yes. Okay. So great question. If you get unrestricted, it will unrestrict you to everyone. If you have the free account, not a premium account, you can only save your second degree connections. Maybe your third. Now I'm forgetting. Anyone beyond, you can't. You might. I think and that has changed. So you have the paid account, Rob. So if you have the paid account and you're restricted, we'll get that fixed, because that's insane for them to restrict someone who's paying them money. But we won't go there. That being said, if you unrestrict yourself, that should unrestrict you completely. But there is a back door. So if it is asking you for an email every single time, or you're uncomfortable saying how you know someone, here's the back door. And unfortunately, we don't have screen share yet, but once we have screen share, I'll be very happy to show you step by step. But if you save someone, which means you click the little relationship star, if they're a second degree or third degree, and you click that relationship star, they are now saved to your contacts. They're not a connection, but they're saved to your contacts. From here, copy that person's name, go into connections, right? And then paste their name in your connections, and they're going to show up in a list, right? Lamar knows this, right? From here, you can connect with your prospect without an email 100% of the time. Currently, the messaging is slightly broken, and we can't guarantee that the message you write goes through. But in general, it is a great way to connect with someone without an email. Also on your smartphone, on your LinkedIn app, you can, if you visit somebody's profile, it's backwards here. If you visit someone's profile, I don't think we can get this directly, but there is, I'm connected to everyone here. If you go to a second degree connection, there are 3 little dots that you can click and say customize invitation. And you can write an invitation and send it through your app. Click and say customize invitation. And you can write an invitation and send it through your app. Yeah, sure.
Can you prospect?
Yeah. So wait, Eileen said she made a video. Eileen, if you want to share a link to that video, that would be awesome. We would love that. Awesome. We have some great people. Oh, Leanne, not Eileen. That was my bad. Oh, it's Leanne Isaacson. Yay. She's awesome. So we have The Bible Says. Oh, got some feedback there. Sorry. Got some feedback on The Bible Says. Someone else wants to take a seat. That would be awesome. And Leanne's going to share a wonderful link. And if she wants to pull up a seat, we would love to have you because you're awesome. Yay. One of my favorite peeps on Blab.
I'm more than happy to jump in.
What time is it?
Tomorrow? Oh, it's easy. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday morning here.
Every time I talk to Leanne, I'm looking into the future.
Yep, I'm in future. Today's a little bit cloudy. It's a bit cool. But look, the sun came up.
Any
so that's
horses
always a good thing.
outside?
Horses, yep, they're just down in the paddock next to my house.
I know, I love that. I'm jealous. I'm going to come to Australia and visit you, and you can come to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Look, I'm just about going to have to do a Blab World tour. I think it's very
exciting.
We all can.
Right, we all have places to stay. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. So I just put in there, and I didn't want to take over your Blab because I don't want to do that. But for me, that's one of the things, and LinkedIn is it's such not an intuitive platform as far as, where things are and how to do it. And even I will click, you'll see a connect button. You'll just think, yep, I'll click that connect button, expecting you're going to bring up the box that says, how do you know the person?
Sends it.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So,
and then the frustrating thing for me, and again, I'm going to try and keep this as high level without complaining about LinkedIn as possible, because Lamar knows we can slip in pretty deep, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to stay above the fray.
We work with what we've got.
Right. But at the end of it, it's frustrating that they allow you to connect without a message and then tell you don't connect without a message.
Exactly.
So make sure as much as you can you connect with a message. You can also, and this is something I highly recommend everybody doing, is go and look at all your outstanding invitations. And if they're more than a week old, go withdraw them all. Because what happens a lot of the times is you connect with someone and then 6 months they go through all of their outstanding connections and they don't remember you for whatever conversation or however they engaged with you. So I try not to have more than a month of outstanding invitations, and then I get rid of them all. I revoke all those invitations.
And that will not as easy to find them now, is it?
Oh, okay. Ready? There's a new place for them. If you go into your click on connections. And then click, see? Okay. All right, click on your invitations. If you go into your invitations and click see all, it's been moved and we found it. So you go into your outstanding invitations and click see all. At the top right, you're going to see 2 people. You're going to click on that little drop down and go sent invitations. And that's going to bring you all the way back to your sent invitations that are outstanding from the beginning of time.
Yep.
Right. And I realized I actually had a few that were like 5 years old. So to avoid the I don't know.
The reason for removing all of them is
because that's what you want. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure. And like I say, Bryn, I say to anyone, if you get a connection request from somebody you don't know, you don't have to accept it, but don't ever click the I don't know.
It's just wrong.
And it's stupid, the fact, it's optional, and it's stupid because, people don't realize the ramifications of clicking it. If someone gets, you've probably already said it, but, I don't know whether there's a particular number. I don't know that LinkedIn, is there 5? But, people don't know that.
You do have that option. You can just X them out and then go away.
That's right. You don't have to.
A black mark.
But I'm going to tell you, when I originally got on LinkedIn, the very first day, I imported every single person out of my Gmail account. I didn't realize I did that. I emailed. This was my first day on LinkedIn in 2008. I emailed everybody to connect, and the next morning I was shut down.
Yep.
I did that with my Yahoo.
Yeah, and so,
I think even back then with AOL,
Well, there's a lawsuit that got settled for a couple $1 million, or even I don't even know how much, that's getting split among people that feel like they were done wrong with that. But
but
anyway, so let's get back to targeted audience on LinkedIn. So, Leanne, what is your number one way that you engage your target audience?
So as far as from an engagement perspective on LinkedIn, I'm not a great content creator. So mine would be making the connection and making the personal, like the invitation, and giving them a reason, sending them a message straight back saying thanks for connecting, and I make really personal ones. And like a lot of people say, don't put smiley faces and don't put that. In any message, in anything, any platform that I use, I always add smiley faces because I'm always smiling, and that's just what I do.
You are, yeah. That's part of your brand.
That's who I am. I'm always smiling, so I always put little smiley, and not necessarily the emoticons now that you can add to messages. I don't, I just do the standard smiley. So that's what I do, and it depends on. It depends on, like who the connection is and the level and that sort of thing. Like I connected with a guy here in Australia who was talking about community influencers, and I'd read this article, so I decided I would connect with him on LinkedIn. So I sent him a connection request saying, I've just read your article. It was fantastic. Really love to know more about that. It'd be great to connect here on LinkedIn. And I usually end it, with something like, and I look forward to seeing how our paths may cross.
I love
something
that.
As simple as that.
So for me, I'll always turn it into a phone call. If you're interested in setting up a time to chat and explore ways we might be able to help each other out, here's a link to my calendar. So that's what I typically do.
And so that's what I do. And like this particular fella, he connected with, he accepted the connection request. And so the day that he accepted the request was our probably equivalent to your Super Bowl over in the US. So it was our AFL grand final day. And so I knew that day he would be going to a grand final. He might have either been going to the grand final or he might have been going to a grand final lunch. So I just flicked him back a message saying, hey, thanks for the connection. Look forward to catching up at some stage. I imagine you're going, imagine you're going to the AFL grand final function or something like that. So have a great day. And so he sent me one back saying, yep, just landed at the airport, about to go and have a barbecue lunch with all of my family. So that's how I create engagement. Create relationships. I don't do it with everyone, and it depends on who it is, what it is, and why. But that's what I tend to do. So
Leanne, I want to ask you: you didn't invite him to a webinar and send him your link to buy something?
No, not first off. No, I'm pretty slack at that. Yeah, no, not first off.
Well, no, I think Mike is happy that you didn't do that.
No, I know. I knew that was the tone. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't offer him my $5,000 special program.
I'm just trying to reinforce that for our listeners.
So I like to have a conversation, and I was talking about this, Mike, in the last blab that we were in a little bit. I like to have conversations, and I want to make sure that every first conversation I have with somebody is strictly insightful. So I like to engage people, and I will always say, whether or not we decide to work together now or in the future, I think a call could be well worth your time. We'll explore ways that, maybe you didn't think of to grow your business. So every first call is all about offering education and insights and hopefully bringing some value. At the end of the call, once you've provided great value, the way that you close that so that you can move it into the pipeline is to say, I hope you found some good value today. And they're like, yay, that was awesome. Right? I hope and I have some other ideas, some things that I've done with some of my clients that I think could be helpful to you. Can we set up another time to talk? So we are not selling here, but we are setting the stage to let them know you're a prospect now, if you choose to be, right? And you can go into my sales cycle now. And about 2/3 of the time, they will say, ooh, tell me now, because they're really into it. And they have now given me permission to sell to them. Because, I ended the call of insights, and now they've decided to enter into my pipeline. They made that choice. And about 25% of the time we schedule another call. I can't even remember the last time that at the end of a call, someone said, nope, not interested. Now, I have said, nope, not interested. I've talked with someone and realized, they're B2C. I'm not going to be able to help them. I'm not right for them. And I say, I hope I gave you some ideas, and let's keep in touch, because I'm choosing not to work with them. But if I qualify them in, I qualify them. I say, I want you in my pipeline. I ask permission, and then I can go ahead and begin my sales process. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah,
Bryn, would you like me to jump out so I can open up the seat?
I don't know, Lamar, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would just like to ask you one thing.
And then, Leanne, I guess if Lamar has a question. If someone put in comments if you want to hop into a seat. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lamar. What's your question?
Okay. My question is that once you have that person in your sales cycle, is that where you're using constant contact
nurtures all the people I don't have a chance
nurture
to talk
them?
to. Once I'm talking with them, so constant contact is my marketing funnel. Right. And then once you have a conversation with someone, in my opinion, they are out of marketing and in the sales funnel. If they choose not to buy from you, but it's because of timing or budget, they can go back into the marketing funnel for the future. But once they're in my sales funnel, it's relationships. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh, yeah. What do you need to keep them on an autoresponder if you're already now engaging with them about your stuff?
Yeah.
And that,
Ross is going to get his plumber's license. I know.
We had lost a question, but I think you were answering it, so I don't know if that person, and I don't see it.
So once you give lots of value, when and how do you take the step to sell? Well, hopefully, did that answer that question?
I'm thinking that should have helped that.
To Damien, hopefully, Damien. So Lamar, do you mind if I pop you off and we'll get someone else on? Thanks so much. All right, so Damien, do you want to, or Ross, or anyone that's interested, you want to hop in on one of the seats? Oh, okay. Alex. Hello, Alex. Digital Bacon. Everybody loves bacon.
Hello.
Hi, Alex. What a fun author of Digital Bacon. That is a book I am going to buy. Okay, so if I go to digitalbacon.com, is this on Amazon?
Digitalbaconbook.com. It's on Amazon everywhere.
On Amazon everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, so this is on I'm going to buy it on Amazon because I have credit. I have gift cards.
Very cool. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. This is awesome. You have a forward from Chris Brogan. Really?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. We've got a star on our hands right now. My forward is from Coca Sexton, who's a star in the social selling world. But Chris Brogan is pretty much like the bee's knees.
Yeah,
like,
he's,
pretty handy.
According to Forbes magazine, top influencer on social media. So,
and he wrote your forward, and you were on our show.
Honored.
My! I'm a little starstruck. Hello, welcome. How cool is that?
No need to be. I was actually looking, Bryn, over your LinkedIn profile, enjoying all your, just looking at how you have everything and taking a lot of good tips from there. So, really good job.
Excellent, thank you. And that's really my goal, is to go from resume to resource.
Yep.
Unless you're looking for a job, you should be a resource. Absolutely. So Alex, either share some great stuff or ask your question. How can we help you today?
No, I'm here, to listen over. I think you've touched on some really interesting tips so far. I don't know if we were going to go through another subject, but
we're going to touch on Pulse in a little while. But if you have a question.
Yeah, well, I probably want to share a couple of tips if I may.
I would love it. And you know what? Since I can't drink my Diet Coke, I'm going to grab a water. So you talk while I drink.
Sure. No. I mean, I'm enjoying using LinkedIn a lot for B2B sales and reaching out to people. Two tools that I've discovered. One of the tools is called Recruitem. Have you used that tool?
Say it again.
Recruitem.
No.
Recruitem. So I think that I'll find the link, because if you actually, I'm going to take the link and actually post it in here.
That's perfect.
For you. Okay.
What did Don ask?
I know. I'm looking
about the drip marketing. Drip. Can you set up a drip marketing campaign
Alex, while
with
you're
LinkedIn?
looking for that link, I'm going to ask my friend. I'm going to answer my friend Don. So, drip marketing campaigns can be run out of MailChimp or Constant Contact. I use Constant Contact or any of those, but LinkedIn is absolutely key to bringing in new blood, new people into your drip marketing campaign. So the mechanics behind the drip marketing, it could be your HubSpot, Infusionsoft, whatever, Marketo, whatever you're using. I use Constant Contact. I love it. It does everything I need it to do. But what happens is when you have a marketing campaign, it's really hard in most cases to build a list. And that's where the struggle comes. So on your website, you can use things like SumoMe or apps that, that take in, allow people to opt in. And in LinkedIn, you can create lots of opt-ins, like links to sign up for my newsletter or download something is even better. And that feeds into your email campaigns. But so LinkedIn fills those with qualified people. Did that answer that?
Yeah, and we actually have a drip campaign. If you want it, I can kind of describe it real quickly.
Yeah, please.
What we do is that we.
Sorry, I'm so thirsty. It was the Chinese food for dinner. He froze.
Uh-oh.
Alex, you're frozen, but you look cute. Oh, there. Wait.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, well, I just wanted to share kind of our drip campaign. Might be interesting to you and your audience, the way we're doing drips. So we're procuring contacts. What we're doing is we're finding, contacts on LinkedIn and just finding that way. But we'll just call straight up and say, hey, we've got some information we'd like to send. Who should we send it to? And we get that email address of the decision maker, and we put that email address right in our drip. We're using MailChimp right now. And it's a 5-step sequence right now, and I think we're going to be expanding it to 7. But the first 3 emails in the sequence, what it does is each email will send out an invitation to watch a video. And the video is on a topical subject. I appear on camera, and I describe something about, maybe a particular struggle that decision maker is dealing with. And then kind of the second video is about a case study on what we did to solve that problem. And then the third one is just kind of like more possibilities and things like that. So then what we'll do is that we'll look at the analytics of the email sent, and we'll see who clicked, who opened, who interacted with our emails. And based on those analytics, we'll make a second call. We'll call them back and we'll just ask them, what did you think about our content? And then just kind of continue there. And then the goal from there is to schedule, like you were saying, another call. Yeah.
So my question to you, is do you have any issues with adding people to your mailing list when they haven't opted in?
No, well, MailChimp will allow you, when you add that contact to the list, MailChimp has a checkbox that says this person gave me permission. And because we're calling them ahead of time and asking them whether we can send them information, we consider that permission. And we've never had issues with people unsubscribing nor reporting as spam, nothing.
Great, because that's my one thing. I have one of the things that I try to do, it's not coming up here. I have a little message that goes out to people. It's on my other computer. I could probably get in and do that. But I have a little message that goes out to people every single time I connect with them, whether they accept my connection or I accept theirs. That is let's have a phone call. And at the end, it's also, I say, and I'll be adding you to our email list. If for any reason you'd like to opt out, please let me know. Mm-hmm. And about one out of every 200 or 300 I get, please don't add me to your list. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Then I don't.
Right. I think that as long as you're respectful and upfront, people are really cool. if you're spamming and things like that, people just kind of raise a red flag and people will report.
So I find that it's interesting you're actually calling. From a time perspective, for me, it's been so much more productive reaching out to them, connecting, and then you get their email.
Right.
That's just been for me. I also have an app that if you want to get emails from websites, which is really cool, it's on my other computer, so bear with me. Where is the app? It's a Grabber app. Can't find it right now. But there's an app on Chrome that, here it is. It is called Email Extractor. Mm-hmm. And anytime you're on, it's a Chrome app, and anytime you are on a website, it will pull out every single email from that website.
Very cool.
So that might help you as well.
Well, Bryn, I don't know if you, if I could share that tool that I was mentioning.
Yeah, please share everything.
So it's Recruitem, and I put the URL there. It's supposed to be for recruiters, but actually you can use it for B2B pretty easily. And what you do is that you input in the field, like the company you're targeting and the position in that company. And what it'll do is it'll perform a Google search on LinkedIn. So instead of doing a LinkedIn search, which is for free accounts, might be a little bit limited, et cetera, you can perform a Google search on LinkedIn unlimited amount of times. And it actually searches very, very deeply within LinkedIn profiles.
That's very cool.
Check that out. It's been really fun and really invaluable for me to, like, if, for example, for me, I find a company or I'm looking within an industry and I want to find a marketing director. In one field, I'll put the name of the company, the other field, the marketing director, and boom, I'll find that person in 2 seconds.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. How do you do this Google search in LinkedIn? Go ahead.
Well, within Recruiting, if you open that link that I posted, I'm not sure if you see that.
Yep.
Open that link, and then you'll be able to search. You'll be able to limit the search by country, and then where it says location or keywords, that's where I'll put the company name.
Is it a free tool right now?
Yes, it is a free tool. You can what it is, it's a visual interface to perform Google searches on LinkedIn. So instead of doing all the operators and things like that you can definitely do that on Google, but you can use this graphical user interface and just kind of type in what you need, and it'll perform very deep searches on LinkedIn using Google.
That's awesome. It gives you. Interesting.
Yeah, other platforms too, as somebody said right there in the comments. You can search, Stack Overflow. You can search Twitter. You can search other things. Which honestly, I have not used it for any of that. I've used it just for LinkedIn, and boom, I just find anything I need. And then I find the profile that I need. I just connect from there.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, Leanne, were you going to share something?
I was probably just going to say.
Don is not a troll.
No, and I knew that, and that's why I said it's really. And sorry, I was having a bit of a separate conversation with Don, because.
Yeah, so Don is my score coach.
Yeah, no. So no, I knew that, and that's why I'd just been flicking him some messages saying change your picture from an egg to something. Yeah, so no, that's okay. We were having a bit of a separate conversation.
That's great advice, and Don, when we're together, we'll work on that.
Yeah, easy.
I'll coach you a little bit, but I got to give him a quick shout out because I'm starting a new company with 8 social selling people, and he has been quintessential to me actually getting this off the ground. So thank you, Don. So he's joining.
So put that in your Blab profile.
Right, that's right.
That'll be fantastic. So no, Bryn, I was just going to say, I'm always very, very wary to use automated stuff within LinkedIn. And I know, Alex, this is not what you're talking about, but there are quite a few Chrome extensions. There are quite a few automated things.
You have to be careful.
That you can use with your LinkedIn profile, and because of the network that I have, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my LinkedIn account. So that's just something.
I've been shut down twice.
Yeah.
I have been. So I hear the pain, and I was shut down the very first day I got on LinkedIn, and I was shut down about 4 or 5 months ago because I tried eLink, which was the automated profile views.
Yep.
I thought I broke down and I said, I'm out of business. I didn't know it came back in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. And I just looked at my husband. I said, I'm done. It's over. It's time for me to get a job. My LinkedIn is gone.
Yeah. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is you can actually download your LinkedIn connections.
You can export them. Yes.
So you can export them to a CSV file, and I certainly wouldn't espouse uploading them into any autoresponder or anything, because I'm not sure whether anyone else does.
So that is why I do, and I'll tell you why and how. So the two things. Number one, that's why every single time I connect with someone new, I tell them I'm adding you to my email list. Right. So I let them know every single time. Here, this is. Let me see. Here you go.
Yep.
I just sent my welcome, which everybody here that has probably gotten it at one time. Did it go through?
Not yet.
Oh, wait a minute. It's really long, but it didn't go through. Now I'm going to do it twice, and then it'll show up. Let's see. Oh, so now I'm not allowed to send messages anymore in this thing. That's interesting.
In where?
And send message at the bottom. I wonder, is there a limit to how long it can be?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, so I'm going to do it in 2
I'm not
parts.
sure how many characters, but yes, there is a certain size.
Okay, let's see if that goes.
Yep.
Okay, there's the first half. That's what happened. And there's the second half.
Yep.
But it's all one. So I have, I give video tips, and then I say, if you're not a member, join my group. And then at the bottom, it says, I will also add you to my LinkedIn email tips, so please look for those. That's what this particular one is. So according to Constant Contact, I've told them that they're getting opted in. So and I don't get a whole lot.
Okay, so sorry, I'm not sure whether I'm taking you off topic, but so how then, so that person, so you send that person that message. So do they then come back to you and say, no, I don't want to be on my list? Or
about one out of a couple hundred will say, don't put me on the list. They also, the very first time they are emailed, there is an opt-out thing that says you are on this list because you are Bryn's LinkedIn connection. If you choose to opt out now.
Okay.
So when they get entered, they get that email.
Sure.
Before they go into all my mass emails. I email once a week. So every Sunday.
Yep.
So that's
and I haven't done that. And I have 28,000 connections. So mine is, to upload it. Mine.
You are almost at your max. You're going to max out at 30,000.
So I mean, the only difference was that is people can't connect with me. I can still connect with people. That's the difference. So I can still send out. I can still send out invitations, but people can't accept me.
Okay, so here is what you mean people can't request you.
That's it, yeah. Like I'm sitting here looking, I get probably 50 requests a day.
So here is what I would do. Yeah. I would do a search for all of your Lions, LinkedIn Open Networkers, and that's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 of your people. So when you get close to 30,000, get rid of them all.
Yeah, yep.
Because they're not going to be of any use to your network anyway.
No, I mean, and I suppose, like for me, and this is what I say with every platform, everyone uses it for different reasons, and so I probably use it for a different reason. Like I said, I'm not a content creator, and I use it generally more to actually make connections for other people, and being able to actually search, and so that's what I tend to use my LinkedIn network for. And I made a very conscious decision back probably in 2012 when I was building my network that I would connect with people that wanted to connect with me, because I never discount a connection. You just never know when someone you might know that they might know. Yeah, so that's the way that I've worked, not necessarily within LinkedIn, but within my whole business world. So LinkedIn is just a tool for me. It's not, like the be all and end all. I mean, I don't want to ever lose my connection, but for me, that's
well. So that's a risk. Like I built my house on someone else's land, and I rent.
Correct.
So I know. I mean, I've moved much more into the social selling realm. Even my book is LinkedIn and social selling because I don't. But LinkedIn really is my home base. Mike, do you use anything other than LinkedIn to engage with your target market?
I use Facebook.
Okay, wait. Who is giving these thousands? How does that happen? And I want to be your friend.
Yeah,
who is that? How did you do that?
That's Michael.
How did he give you like 1,507 seconds?
I'm not sure.
Oh my God, Michael, you rock.
Trigger finger right there.
Yeah, I that's amazing. Always drops that.
Maybe you're on. Got you on two different screens. You got you on two different computers.
The fact that could happen so quickly.
I know.
Yes,
he did it he got me 10,000 one day, really quickly, and I didn't even notice.
I'll send you a free book if you get me to 10,000. I will send you a free book, LinkedIn and Social Selling, a 44.
There you go.
He's going to do
Michael.
it.
Yep.
I love it. I'm so cheap. So you'll have to.
There's times I go, stop. That's enough.
Yeah,
10,000. He gets a book.
He's probably got one of those.
I love it.
Rapid.
You're gonna have. I'm gonna send you my email, Michael, and you're gonna have to send me your address, and I will send it out today. I love it.
And
it's fun.
And if anyone needs amazing gifts, Michael does amazing gifts, and so does Damien, who's in the room as well. So So I'm not quite sure whether anyone has seen some of the. I'll quickly flick on a gift that Michael's created. He's probably got some.
That's awesome, Michael. There's got to be some magic there. I've never seen anybody be able to do that in like so fast.
It's a rapid click script, probably.
Have no idea.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What is it? A rapid click?
Yeah, it's one of those scripts that makes you rapid click. I know your trick, Michael.
I want to know his trick. That's, okay. That's a great.
Michael's saying it's wrong. No, you're wrong.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay. That's awesome. All right, Michael, you rock. And you've got to, I put out my email. You need to email me your address, and I will absolutely send you a book tonight. I know you're looking to build your email list before you start blogging, but one of the things, are you going to blog on LinkedIn, or are you going to have a separate blog?
I'm going to have a separate blog. Somebody told me to use WordPress.
So I use WordPress, but I'm going to tell you, if you want to start building a following, consider doing it on both places. So do it on WordPress, and then a week later, post it inside of LinkedIn.
Okay.
Right. And because LinkedIn is going to do a lot of the work for you that doesn't happen in your WordPress.
Okay.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Corey?
I was just going to say, and there could be other platforms out there that might be better suited for your topic as well. I mean, I don't know, nothing against LinkedIn, but without really looking at it and looking at what he's trying to do, it almost seems like maybe there might not be as many cancer survivors, or maybe there is, or maybe there's healthcare people, I suppose.
I'm there.
Just thinking out loud. Yeah. Well, no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but we're not looking for correct me if we're wrong. We're not looking really for cancer survivors. We're looking for people who can learn lessons from the cancer survivor.
Oh.
Right. Okay, so this, and I'm jumping to conclusions, Michael, so push back, but I see you as keynotes at corporate events, in culture building events, is that like a goal of yours?
Yeah, I'd like to work on becoming like a motivational speaker for those kinds of things. But my biggest hit would be for families that have young kids who have cancer in their, young. I had it at birth, so I want to be able to help young families who have a child that has cancer, get through that.
Have you thought of a book?
I'm not good at writing a book. I'm going to have to find someone to help me get that.
So here's what I'm sorry, Corey, and then I just get so excited. Just give me 2 seconds. So do you have a shtick, a speech, a 1-hour program?
No, I'm still working on putting all that together. I'm just getting started.
All right. So you're a talker, obviously. You're not going to have a problem putting together what you're going to say, and I'd be happy to talk to you. But once you get that, record your 1 hour or your 2 hour on stage. Record it. Send it to the Philippines for $30 and get it transcribed. So your 2 hour program gets completely transcribed. You might even be able to do it less. You can use things like Dragon Dictation. There might be other things. Then you edit your 2 hour program. You spend $5.50 on Fiverr to get your cover, and you upload it to createspace.com, which is owned by Amazon. And within 48 hours, you're on Amazon. And if you have, and you may make it a children's book. Maybe you decide you want to make it more about how parents can talk to their kids. I don't know. But whatever it is, if you have a program, that's what I did, by the way. And I ended up with a bestseller on Amazon because I figured out how to promote it really well at the right time. But this is all self-published. I get so many speaking engagements because of it, because it made me an author, and I think you can too. And then that becomes part of author and speaker, right? And it changes the dynamic. But connect with me on LinkedIn. And Michael, I'm going to put in my I'm putting in my link for my calendar. There is an option, Michael, that says 1 hour, but you get charged. Schedule the hour. I will not charge you. Schedule the hour, and I'll help you get started.
Okay.
Okay. So go in. It may be a week or two from now, but the hour is only for Michael. But schedule the hour, and we're going to get you started on the right path on how to come up with that curriculum and what to do with that.
Okay.
Michael, your situation reminds me of my brother-in-law has spina bifida, so he was born with spina bifida, and he's been in a wheelchair his entire life. And he wanted to start a blog a couple of years ago. He never really stuck with it, and never really was. He just didn't continue with it, and he didn't post as much as he should have. He didn't take it as seriously as I thought he could. But the interesting thing was he wasn't necessarily aiming for anything, but he just discovered that he had a lot of parents that were finding like their children had spina bifida, and he was just floored by how many people like that he was helping. And he was very rarely posting, and he was making a big impact. So I think that you might be onto something with that particular approach, because those parents, I'm a parent, and we want absolutely anything we can do to try to make our child's life better. So I think that would be like an extremely, that's a pain point right there, like not to get all like marketing speak or whatever on you, but that would be a powerful thing to be able to help people with.
Yeah. So the cancer I was born with was neuroblastoma, which 9 out of 10 kids die from that. So I was the lucky one out of the 10 that survived. And, I've had cancer 3 times, 27 major surgeries, and died 5 times on the operating table. So
wow.
I feel I got somewhat of a story to tell. I just need to do it.
Can I ask a question? And we don't have to get too down. Did you see a light? Was there anything you remember?
Well, I was so little as a baby, I don't really remember a whole lot of it. Yeah. A lot of it was when I was younger. I had my 25th surgery by the time I was 14, and I'm going to be 45 on the 30th of this month. I wasn't even supposed to live to see 6 months old, or 6 weeks old, rather.
Wow.
So,
are your parents around still?
My mom is. She's earned a lot of gray hair from me.
You appreciate her?
Totally.
Good.
I'm very protective over her.
Yeah.
She just got in an accident about 3 weeks ago, and I've been trying to take care of her the last couple of weeks because she's so sore. She did very good taking care of me growing up, so
that's awesome. We all have a path and we all have a purpose, and this might be it for you, and you can make a huge difference. Your sacrifices can make a huge difference in other people's lives. And I love that you're taking a path that you can really make a difference. The other support piece is the support of the parents of the children. And so that's a whole other piece too. But Michael, I can't wait to talk to you more about that.
Okay.
And we'll do that offline. So thanks so much.
Yeah.
You know what? I gave you a link that says scheduleacallwithbryn.com. If you scroll up, it says here's a link to my calendar. If you go in, it'll give you 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 60 minutes. But it'll say you're going to get charged $250 if you schedule the 60 minutes. I promise you, if it says Michael Barnes, I'm not going to charge you. Anyone else is getting charged. So if you go try it, no. So, yeah, so we'll get you started on that.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Very cool. I am at 9:18, and I have a class in the early morning, which I have to prepare for, and I still have a proposal to put out tonight. So, guys, I'm going to end this. I'm sorry, Nate, that we didn't get to talk. I'm
going to hop off. It was nice meeting you guys.
It was nice to meet you. I'm going to, let's, really quick, Nate, I just need to see your smiling face for 2 seconds. Hop on, and then I'm going to hop off.
I'll get out of here. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, you, Corey, nice to meet you. Make sure we connect. Nate, you're dressed.
Can you guys hear me?
We can, and I'm only going to do this for 2 minutes, but I had to see your happy face.
That's all I need, love. Normally, I just need about 3 minutes. Bada boom. Psh.
Oh, that's okay. We're not going to go there tonight. I have a headache.
Awesome. I got nothing.
I'll just leave you guys alone.
All right.
Yes, Mike.
Mike, so I'm going to ask Nate one question. What do you do in a legal way to engage your target audience?
Oh, I'm out. Legal way. Yeah. I just video for me wins like each and every single time. Live video, unscripted, raw, just engage with your audience on a very real and raw way. No carefully curated, manicured internet marketing law. Just basically talk to your people, and just field questions and help them, right, in a scalable way. Videos also, live video is very, very scalable. So, you can sort of do one-on-one, which is fantastic, or you can do one-to-many, and you can use something like Blab to sort of field all those questions. So one-to-many on a nice scalable way, but keep it still personable. That's how I do things.
Are you still loving Meerkat and Periscope?
I've actually created my own. I'll tell you guys about that. I've actually fused Meerkat, Periscope, and Blab all together with just a metric shit ton of marketing tools. So I'll unveil that to you guys later on. But I think all of you will like it.
Are you a programmer kind of guy, Nate? I don't even know you're a social media trainer, aren't you?
Nope. That's a byproduct of what I do. I do SaaS, software as a service, and I'm here in Manila now with me homie peeps. And,
you have a real job.
Yeah, and this is.
Hi, Nate's friends. They can't hear me.
These are my minions. With a green screen. These are my minions. That's minions, and then. So no, I have a real office and everything. So basically, I create software.
I mostly see Nate in bed.
Well, yes, without a shirt as well. I mean,
periscopes.
It's been a bit of a drought of late, hasn't it?
So that's what we get with the 14-hour time zone difference.
I know. But I'm actually in Manila now. So when I've been talking to you, when we've been in bed together there, Bryn, it's actually been in Thailand, but now I'm in Manila. So with so yeah, but I didn't want to take it over. I just want to come in and sort of tell you what I do and how I do things.
Video's great. We didn't talk about video at all, and maybe I know, but no, we were waiting for you. Maybe the two of us should do a blab on engaging audience with video.
I'd like to. Yeah, that would be great. And that bloke as well, what a worthwhile case. That was brilliant. That geezer that had who caught the cancer. If you help him, that's brilliant. If he needs any help as well, I'd love to sort of get stuck in with you and help him out. So I think that should be something a bit worthwhile, really. So once he's finished with you, whatever you guys want me to do, I'd help him out.
He's getting an hour.
Yeah, he's got an hour, right?
No, I have some ideas, but I wasn't thinking video, and video makes so much sense. So when I'm done, I'll send him your way. And look how much love you're getting from Andy.
Oh, Andy's all right. He's if I was a bird, I'd do him. I'm not going to lie.
All right, Andy, we're going. Good night, Mr. Nate. Mike, it was such a pleasure blabbing.
Yes, it was. I appreciate it. I hope the people got some value out of what I was able to share.
Oh my!
Well, it's only with you, Mike, not me. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys later on. Cheers, everyone.
All right, bye. All right, guys, I am going to have a little bit of work to do and then hitting the hay without Nate in Milan. Good night, guys. Thanks so much for sharing all your.
So long, everybody. See you soon, Bren.
Bye. Thanks so much, Mike. It was a lot of fun.